What you're about to see is all optional. Unless you want to get 100%, because let me tell you, we're going to be finding a lot of exits and a lot of secrets in this episode. You could probably tell by the video length. Not, however, in this level. This level's actually pretty straightforward. It's a fun one, though. I always like my bridge stages. I think they're neat. Of course, this one's also made pretty easy by Jet Wario. In fact, I'm holding back. I could probably spam Jet Wario a lot more than I am. Or will, eventually. But, I'll try not to overdo it. I mean, I'm gonna have this thing for the entire game, so I'll only use it every once in a while. Like for sections like this that I can't be bothered to do. Checkpoint, don't care. Though to be fair, this can be a tricky level, and even with a jet, it's not like this is exactly easy. I mean, to be fair, I could be using it more, and that's probably what ended other runs, but yeah. If you're playing this at home, you probably do want to use that checkpoint, because this isn't the longest level. There aren't many very long levels in this game, but dying, it sets you back a ways, and you also lose your powers, so things get more difficult. You don't want to do this entire stage over again, though, right? Really, I know I ignore checkpoints a lot, and I will be insulting them to their face a lot. However, they are actually really useful if you're playing the game normally. Anyway, we've actually entered the iceberg now, and because this level's pretty tricky to backtrack through to get coins, in fact, I think the falling platforms might fall permanently, maybe? I mean, that's what I have to assume if they're just letting us leave this level without a fee. I mean, I'll take it no matter what. I'm just not entirely sure whether or not you can backtrack or not. Anyway, we've got a level with a secret exit. Let's take a look. Which one is this? Not the most detailed here. Looking over it, it's not my favorite level. We're starting off with a section where we just have to climb a ladder slowly for no other reason than spearmen are walking back and forth. Not really a big challenge unless you're critically impatient to the point where it actually drives your actions and makes you do stupid mistakes, in which case that would be pretty hard, actually. Don't attack hedgehogs from the back, they'll poke you. You don't want that, trust me. Just smash them from the front and you'll be fine. So the stage. Part of the problem I have with this is there's not really much to talk about. It sort of has a gimmick, but that gimmick doesn't really appear until towards the end, and it's honestly not really that interesting a gimmick anyway. The only other thing it has going for it is hedgehogs, which, you know, can be tough enemies if you're just trying to attack them from the back constantly, and the fact that they do protrude their spines outward does actually mean they can catch you off guard. Or at least they can catch me off guard. I don't know about you. I imagine most people are more careful than I am. Oh well, anyway, really weird setup for the level here, and I probably shouldn't have hit that box for reasons. Anyway, there's a goal right there. But we can't get to it yet. Instead, we have more weird setup. So, why that weird setup of blocks, you might be asking? Well, it's because over here, coin, we have a switch that will mess around with this room. And now, there are no ice blocks over there blocking the enemies or the item boxes. Or the exit, for that matter. So, once we take care of this enemy, or not, I guess, I couldn't be bothered. Let's unlock this door and just completely skip over the fact that I opened a box with garlic in it. Honestly, the secret exit's pretty obvious. but it's one of the ones that's at the end of the level, like a lot of the ones in this game are. So yeah, we've cleared one exit, but now we have to go find the secret exit. So, once you press the switch, if you go past that exit, all of those ice blocks from before have made a staircase you can climb up. So let's move you out of the way via murder. And in this room... No, not this room. This is just a hallway. In this room, you can find the exit, but if you want to go down there, you can. I'm not gonna, because you can't enter a doorway from midair, so you'll die if you jump down. You want to press this switch, and that'll change up everything. If you had Bull Wario, you probably could have gone down here slightly faster, but because you don't need Bull Wario, it is the biggest non-issue. And just hearts, nothing too serious. Alright, so we'll throw our coin in and exit the level. Alright, and with that done, we'll just pour our money in the bin here. Let Wario laugh about it, jiggle his eyes around. And we unlock that level. And we're actually going to it next. So this is Sherbet Land 17, which is my least favorite level in this world. So, these clouds right here, similar to the chickens, you can use them to get a lot of coins. This is by no means necessary, and yet for some reason I decided I'm just going to have this cloud kill these enemies. Now let me tell you, the time this cloud actually fires is random, so he can easily miss the enemies because they could just walk by his bolts. So, a lot of failed takes here, because the cloud would be firing at the wrong time, he'd miss enemies, stuff like that. So yeah, I hate this level a lot. Oh, so much. Again, like with the chickens, it's entirely on me. There is no reason you have to do that. You don't have to kill enemies like that to get coins. I just made things harder for myself. And the worst part is, I do it again. I don't know what compels me. There's no check mark that appears next to the level if you complete it like this. And yet, for some reason, my dumb idiot brain thinks, well, I mean, that thing's part of the level. If you don't use it to its full extent, then it's just a waste. Then why would you even bother? You're not showing it off to its full potential. So, yeah, the moral of the story is I'm horrible and bad. Just run through the damn level. There's nothing stopping you. I mean, other than the cloud itself, it can hurt you is the thing. Wario won't turn into a large coin, but it'll still do damage. But you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to run through the stage. Save yourself. Please, just say, don't be me about these things. I'm recording it like this so you don't have to. Anyway, we got a key, which means there's a treasure. I guess I should point that out. I don't know, it might be important. Here's a checkpoint. More importantly than the checkpoint, though, here's some coins. You can collect those, and I did. Here's more cloud. Here's more cloud. You can screw up this level a lot. Here's a cloud. I hate you so much, cloud. Let's just take a moment of silence because there's no hedgehog there. Even watching this back, I have to admit, I did a little fist bump. because I'm just so glad there wasn't another goddamn hedgehog. Anyway, you could get more coins. If you've played a Mario game, you've seen that type of platform. Every time you jump on it, it changes what direction it flies towards, but I've never really been fond of that platform type, so I'm not really playing that game. Here's a treasure. It's a bell, I think? Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna collect as many of these coins as I can. Ah, thank goodness. I would say that my Wario roleplay has gone off without a hitch, except I was gonna make that joke earlier, and I couldn't because I did miss some coins. So that's not an excuse for wanting to do the stage the way I did. Because clearly I'm not going after literally every coin in the game. I am just weirdly pedantic about these things sometimes. Anyway, it's the end of the stage. Here's this weird nerd with a harpoon gun that I killed. I think I have enough coins. I think I picked up just enough coins to be able to open the end of the stage. Alright, so 200 coins. It's a lot of coins. Got so many coins. Didn't need to get so many coins, but I did. Anyway, we're not gonna go that direction just yet. We completed stage 17 early, but we don't want to go on to the boss. Instead, we'll go to stage 16. So, stage 16... I guess this would be one of my more favorite stages of Sherbet Land. We got the keys super early on, and we're also going to be getting the treasure fairly easily as well. Though it's kind of not difficult with Jet, but you might miss the door you need to take in order to get the treasure of the stage if you have Jet Wario, because it's right here. But because when you're carrying a key, you can't use jets, you can't ram those blocks. However, we also don't have the ability to butt stomp, so if you're using Bull Wario, you might not miss it, but you might miss it here. But I don't know, I feel like I found it pretty easily when I played this game as a kid. When you're looking for secrets, breaking blocks is usually a pretty safe go-to as a strategy. Anyway, we got a shield. Wario's gonna laugh about that for a sec, and then we're gonna get on with our lives. So, the unfortunate thing about this stage is it's a secret exit stage. Cough cough, I wonder where it could possibly be. This one is actually hidden relatively well, though. It's also not all the way at the end of the stage, which is nice. That's a deviation from the trend, and I appreciate it. So, Skull Door's up there. So we could reach it with Jet Wario, but no. I won't. It doesn't really add that much to go to the Switch, because all it does is create ice blocks that lead you right to the exit, but, you know, I didn't really need them, but I figure I should show it off anyway. You might take Bull Wario to the stage. I don't know what power-ups you like to or need to use. So yeah, with that done though, that was only one exit of course, so we've got another one to go. We could go to the boss, but I'm not going to. Let's jump back in and find that secret exit. So, see that coin right there? That points out that hidden block, and you can go to this area. In this room we have a whole lot of nothing, really. Just one duck and a heart, and the secret exit. If we could stop bouncing off it, that would be great. And once we enter, we're done with the stage. And we'll add our money. Not much, but, you know, it's not like this stage had a lightning cloud in it, so we can't get 200 coins in every stage. And so with that, we open up stage 18. The boss is actually stage 19, so if you miss the secret exit, you do get even more of a hint that this is here, other than, you know, the marker on the world map that makes it fairly obvious. So, let's see, which stage is this one? Oh yeah, this is a weird one. I say weird because clearly there is an intention in which way you're supposed to go, but I have Jet Wario, so, I don't care. Anyway, we're heading off to get a treasure. It's pretty far out of the way, actually. We've got the key, and we have to jump down here to get the switch. And once we press it, we have a small gauntlet of enemies to take care of. To be fair, these guys did end a few runs because I'm not the most careful human being. Actually, no, I don't think... I've recorded this game before and then lost the footage because computer death reasons. So I feel like I've had trouble with it in the past, but I don't think it was much of a big deal last time I recorded. I can't really think of any ways that I messed that section up. So, yeah, maybe I'm just remembering another run. But either way, we've got the key. We can duck under here. Of course, you can't duck in midair, so that's why you can't go up there normally. And apparently, opening a door just flips everyone over. I don't know, maybe it's a really ridiculous thing happening, so, you know, they're doing like the anime pratfall thing. I don't know. Anyway, we got a lamp. I don't think it's a magic lamp. You would know if it's a magic lamp. It's just a normal, but hopefully very valuable lamp. Probably of the oil variety. So with that done, we can actually move on with the stage. Like I said, the treasure is a pretty big detour. We've got a lot more stage left to go. Fair bit of water too. Actually, no, looking over the map, it's not actually that big a stage. The detour is a pretty big chunk of it. I definitely think they expect you to go that way. It's a very Yoshi's Island stage like that. You could use Bull Wario to break open those boxes and find yourself a checkpoint and some coins, but I'm not using Bull Wario and I don't need a checkpoint. We're actually pretty close to the end of the stage. Now, there are a lot of hedgehogs here, so it is pretty tricky for that reason, but honestly, otherwise, I don't think you really need the checkpoints. I guess it's there if you really do need it, because, you know, you can't argue with them placing a checkpoint, but, honestly, it's not a huge deal. I don't know why they hide it. Why would you make the player go out of their way to find a checkpoint that they don't really need? Though again, I don't know what other people use on a regular basis, so maybe somebody uses Bull Wario a lot. In which case, that wouldn't really be out of the way, as it was for me. Anyway, though, we are done with every other stage of Sherbet Land, so it's time for the boss level. This one's a little different for reasons, but for the time being we're just gonna worry about the fact that this is largely a water stage. It's not a bad water stage, and let me tell ya, since the cloud level exists, it's not my least favorite stage. I can say that for sure. We also got a big coin, which is nice. We will kind of need that big coin in order to make a lot of money in this level, because we otherwise won't. Yoink. Alright, now which section is this? This section isn't a big deal. This is just spearmen all the way down. Some hearts as well, but mostly spearmen. They go all the way to the bottom. But that's not really impressive. You can't just say a direction and think it's going to be intimidating or important or anything, or even really remotely dramatic. It's gotta be top. I feel like I've screwed up this section a lot. It's probably the wooden stake, I think. It's not really that hard to dodge, but I feel like I've gotten some dumb hits in from that. And of course, Wario is a vampire, as we all know, so that is one of his many weaknesses. Actually, no, that's not possible. I can't make that joke work. Because clearly I, the Wario role player, knows that Wario loves garlic. And of course, garlic just fucking murders vampires. Kills them dead. I don't even know how that myth started. Really, actually, I know this is a tangent, but one day I really have to look up, why the fuck is garlic a vampire weakness? Who came up with that? Why is that part of the mythos? Oh well, anyway, that's a tangent, and we're actually at the boss, so let's not continue speaking about this. So, we could just leave the stage if we wanted to, but the boss really isn't that tough. However, once you hit him once, he gets a helmet, and you have to hit him in the back in order to remove the helmet. That's why this exit is here. If you get hit, then you will become Small Wario, and if you become Small Wario, there's literally nothing you can do to damage him, so they give you an easy out just in case that happens, but Penguin's honestly an easy boss. You also get hearts instead of money for that, which I don't think that's a good reward, honestly. I'm not particularly fond of that, I'd prefer the money. Oh well, we'll be hopefully making plenty of money here. Let's see what we get. You know, thus far, just going to the same bucket repeatedly has been a pretty good strategy. I forget what my strategy for the last one was, forget what I did for the last two worlds, but I either stick to one side, and I think it's usually the left side, or I alternate. So I do like left, right, left, and yeah, I maxed out on coins, so actually the boss didn't need to drop money, I'm good. The lives, while useless, are still technically not going to go to waste, as coins would have. So, got a whole lot of money, got a whole lot of treasures. It was a bit of a detour. Wario's kind of gone a little bit out of his way on his journey to defeat Captain Syrup, but, you know, I don't think he can argue with the treasure, because we got a whole lot of it. And I mean, look at Wario. He's real happy about this. He enjoys this outcome. Wario's not one to stop and smell the roses, but, if he can stop and collect the roses for money, that's a different matter.